Hey, this is Libby spilling all the political tea. Straight politics, no chaser. You know the go to for all your political needs. Think the Bodega Boys, but political. It's millennial politics served piping hot. This episode, I will discuss election season. Yay. I just voted the other day and I was elated to vote for, you guessed it, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. and the delegates for convention. This election season is pivotal. I know Democrats say this every time, but it is. We have a part two rumble between good and evil, and folks once again are saying that one party is the lesser of two evils. Again. Last time I heard that Hillary lost and my life spiraled out of control, along with the country and the rest of the planet. Do y'all know the whole world, our allies and enemies, look at us like imbeciles because we didn't elect Hillary? Like she was a shoo-in. Don't get me started. Just remember, the most qualified person to ever run for office was a pantsuit lady. And your former president, Barack Obama, said that. I digress. This time around, it's a rematch between Biden and Lucifer. I mean, Trump. My hope is that Trump gets locked up before fall so that people don't have the opportunity to vote for him or blow the election by voting for third party or not voting at all or writing in Hammurabi like they did in 2016. Like, do people not recall how horrible the Trump years were? Let's take a trip down memory lane. Every day I feared waking up dead. Do you know what that means? I feared waking up in hell because he could push the nuclear code button after a Twitter argument with Kim Jong Un and get us nuked. Or the country breaks out into civil war and civil disobedience because his administration polarized the country with dog barks, not even whistles. Or we all get wiped out by the plague. I mean, COVID, because he was not fit to lead during a disaster in Puerto Rico, nevertheless, a global pandemic. Ugh. If he isn't arrested, they will both face off in November. And currently, if the election were today, April 1st, Biden is the incumbent as he currently holds office. This gives him a good advantage because the likeliness of a sitting president to be reelected is high, unless your name is Donald Trump or George Bush Sr. In history, there are only 10 presidents who did not win a second term. 10 out of 46. That's about 22%. However, this country is fickle. There are folks still enamored by Trump. And didn't he get the 2016 election rigged by our foreign enemies? Yeah, the world just forgot about that. Now, usually when a Republican president doesn't win a second term, Republicans go apeshit and cause chaos, hence the last 4 years, and the abortion ban. They are spiraling. Hence, why would you vote for a party that is spiraling into their demise? I highly doubt the Republican Party that exists today will exist in 5 years. Nevertheless, 10 or 20. Who supports losers? Thankfully, traditionally, Americans vote their pockets. Black Americans vote their pockets. So if Biden can get inflation down and more money in American households by November, it will be a clean sweep. And for all those that say they are voting for Trump because he gave you a stimulus, you're an idiot. I don't know if I should elaborate more on that, but that is the gist. That man did not want to give you nada. You got a stimulus because of Congress and Congress alone. And if you got a physical check, you got it late because he wanted to take credit for it by having his name printed on it, which significantly delayed it. Remember that? I don't like that people's attention span is short and memory is shorter. How quickly folks forget the doomsday that was Trump's presidency. Please remember that when you go in the voting booth in November. With that being said, if the election were today, according to CNN.com, Biden would win, as he has 2,580 more pledged delegates than Trump. Thank God for the Republican Party imploding. I think what people need to understand is that a Democrat can't fix a Republican's mess in 4 years. You give them 4 years or 8 years to ruin the country, then expect it to be fixed in 4 years or 8 years. And that's illogical and not possible. The moral of the story is to not blame Democrats for not fixing it fast enough and stop electing Republicans that break the fundamentals of this country. That's the T. Regarding their top five campaign promises, Biden promised to get COVID under control. He kept his promise. Biden promised to get bipartisan cooperation on the economy. Polyfax states he compromised. I say he kept his promise because the Congress did pass the spending bill recently, but Polyfax states otherwise. Biden promised to use a national commission to address policing issues. Polyfax states this is stalled. In the beginning of his administration, he did bring old and new civil rights leaders to discuss the issues of the day, but I haven't heard much since. But I understand that it's not priority, just like the border. Unfortunately, this country has bigger fish to fry. Like keeping a demagogue from spreading out secrets and being reelected, and keeping Putin from trying to domino Ukraine, all of Europe, and eventually the world. Biden promised to put the US on a course to net zero emissions by 2050. This promise was kept. Biden also promised to restore Obamacare and improve it. This promise was also kept. Now, Trump has also made some promises the last time he ran for office. Let's see how Polyfax states that he did. Trump promised to repeal Obamacare, which is a promise he broke. He tried to kill it and did significantly damage it, but Obamacare is still alive and well. Trump promised to build a wall and make Mexico pay for it, which was a promise that was broken because as soon as he said it, the president of Mexico said, hell no, we're not paying for it, and they never did. And the wall Trump partially built is flimsy and cheap, like his soul. Trump promised to suspend immigration from terror-prone places, which he actually did do. Remember the airport crisis with hundreds of immigrants being stuck in the airport because he placed a ban on them coming here, and folks want to re-elect this man? Wow. Trump promised to cut taxes for everyone, which Polyfax states he compromised on. He didn't compromise, he lied. He only meant to cut taxes for the rich and wealthy, and that's exactly what he did. If you notice your tax refund being short, more taxes coming out of your paycheck, thank Donald J. Trump for increasing taxes for the poor and dwindling middle class. Don't blame Biden. Trump promised to lower the business tax rate, which Polyfax states was a compromise. I say he actually did it. I wholeheartedly believe the average American pays more taxes than these corporations do. I know I definitely paid more taxes than Donald Trump. Shout out to the Biden-Harris campaign for selling those t-shirts in 2020. I definitely bought one. Needless to say, all this information you can read for yourself on polyfact.com. It's public information, people. What Trump pledged to do and kept his promises on are not things to rave about. Ding, ding, ding. Meanwhile, Biden is trying to save the soul of this nation, a nation that needs saving. Needless to say, this promise tracker makes Biden look like FDR, and Trump comes across looking like a smarter Bush Jr. and dumber Bush Sr. You decide. Remember, Biden saved us from anarchy, from losing all international respect, and the end of democracy. Trump caused all of that and only ran for office to escape jail and get back at Obama for the joke he made about him at the 2011 White House Correspondents' Dinner. Let that marinate. Remember that? Now, this is my favorite part of the episode, which I call BFFR, like make it make sense. I think it's self-explanatory. Did you know the only election fraud found in Georgia in 2020 election was done by the GOP vice chairman? And he has done it 9 times. Please note, he is the election denier and had to pay a mere fine of 5K and some additional fees. Get this, he illegally voted because he was on probation for, drum roll please, probation for forgery and other felonies in Pennsylvania. I am done. How can people perpetually vote for these criminals? Like, I get apathy towards politics and voting, but willfully and blatantly voting for evil should be a crime. On a side note, y'all, former president is selling Bibles for $59.99. My God. Somebody said on Twitter yesterday that I quote, Christians warn us about the Antichrist for 2,000 years. And when he shows up, they buy a Bible from him. And I can't agree more. For me, that's like Satan selling holy water. I want to list the people that are buying it because they need to be sterilized. Honey, the Bible is free online. Did you not know? Wasn't he selling sneakers for an astronomical price and then had to significantly drop the price? The man is broke. What don't folks understand? He is not liquid, hence why he owes New York State money, or he did owe it because he paid it after being denied by bail bondsmen across the country. He finally got the 175K to pay New York State. This man is poor. Honorable mention, shout out to the mayor of Baltimore for telling folks they use DEI because they are afraid of saying the N word. Thank you for saying the quiet part out loud. And shout out to Black Twitter for taking that and running with it. I love my DEIs. Rest in peace to the workers that died during the shipwreck. That is no way for one to die. Pray for Baltimore, y'all. Thank you for listening to my political pontification. If you liked it, tell a friend to tell a friend. And please check out my website, thepoliticaltea.com. You can generously donate to my chai latte habit on it. Thanks.